Hello and welcome to the Aidem Interactions. The Aidem continues its coverage of the crucial Uttar Pradesh elections, meeting leaders, meeting people, meeting political commentators and journalists. And today I have with me Mr. Nalin Verma, a long-term friend, a great journalist and a specialist on North Indian affairs. And he's also the co-author of the legendary Rashtriya Janata Dal leader Lalu Prasad Yadav's autobiography. Nalin, welcome to the Aidem.
Thank you.
We have been traveling through the Uttar Pradesh hinterlands and covering this election. In fact, you had started the coverage much earlier than I did. And one significant factor, we are going to focus only on that factor, the caste play in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar. Of course, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar are two states which have very significant caste politics. So what exactly are you seeing in this election in terms of these caste orientations?
See, caste always plays a very important role. The caste groups which at times ensured the victory of Bharatiya Janata Party. Again, the Samajwadi Party or all other parties are depending on the caste equation and right caste balance. But the fact is, the same caste, they get the votes, the people, to defeat the party which they have elected. Same caste people vote. The most important thing in this caste equation and balance is who has the chemistry right. Not that who has the equation right. The castes are the same since time immemorial.
But there are some castes in Uttar Pradesh who have been steadily voting for one section. For example, the Thakurs have voted for the BJP for so many decades. So is the case of the Brahmins. The Yadavs have predominantly voted for the Samajwadi Party. The Dalit Jatavs have voted for the Bahujan Samaj Party for so many decades. So there are certain castes which kind of, are steady with one political formulation or other.
See, what we fail to see at times, completely thinking in the tunnel of caste, we don't give too much importance to the aspirational voters.
Okay.
They are everywhere, and they cut across the caste and they provide the cutting edge in the elections. This unemployment is such a big an issue, livelihood such a big an issue, and it is affecting everyone, right from upper caste to the backward caste to the Dalits, every section of the society. And it is very important issue for those who are seeking the jobs. And there is record to tell, it is very much clear that the government has failed very much on the score of employment issue. The people are agitating on the streets. Young people are against it, and those it is not proper to confine those groups in the caste only, because they will matter in this election.
So, do you think that this has become the most important factor in this election? Can you say that?
I can say that it is one of the most important factors in the election, and it can't be wished away. This is a very important. All the factors are there. Many caste issue, religious issue, communalism, everything is there. But this something associated with the life, existence, and survival of the people, the young people. That is one of the most important issue of the election, and that will affect the election somehow or the other.
No.
This is what I do. Aspirational voter.
The aspirational voter cutting across the caste lines.
Across the caste lines, yes.
So you think that that there is a semblance of the last Bihar election here. The last Bihar election, Tejasvi Yadav, despite of having a strong caste constituency, he had converted that election into an economic agenda issue.
Yes, in a way it is some sort of replica, Tejasvi also met this livelihood, employment. He announced in the election that on the first day he takes over, he will give job to 10 lakhs people. It was his first cabinet. And it clicked. Young people started gravitating towards. Traditionally, Tejasvi, as per his father's way, he has the traditional support of Yadavas and Muslim combination. But those who voted, they had large group of the people who supported Tejasvi because he talked about about the giving the job and it made him very popular among the aspirational voters.
Right, right, right.
And that may work for Akhilesh also, who is spearheading the Samajwadi Party.
But if you look at the BJP poll plank,
Yes.
they are also saying that this election is beyond caste and communities. I mean, we were speaking to senior BJP leaders yesterday, and then even somebody like the Deputy Chief Minister was telling us that that this election is beyond caste and communities. But they say that the welfare policies that they have initiated, the kind of law and order that they have provided, these have become very important factors, and this is also a different kind of value that is cutting across the caste lines that we talk about. What is your take on it?
See, by these welfare schemes, I am telling you that it will make an impact.
Okay.
But it will make an impact with the traditional way of voting. The poor people who are being given doles, they don't have money or grains to eat. In the EBC, it is a large group, and this Adityanath or Prime Minister Narendra Modi, through this scheme, government schemes, welfare schemes, they have made inroads in those sections. But again, I am telling you, that will affect, that will somehow took a large number of votes from them, but it will not work for the aspirational voters. They are not in the field. They have not studied just to get 5 kg of grain every day. It will not satisfy them. It will benefit the BJP in a different way, with the different sections. But it can't just negate the resurgence, the aspiration of the aspirational voters.
Oh, that's a very, very tricky formulation that you have made. So my simple question is, what do you see among these two factors? The BJP is also saying that this election is going beyond caste, and the people are responding to the welfare schemes of the government and the kind of law and order it has provided to the state. But on the other side, you are saying the aspirational voter is looking for employment. So between these two, who do you think weighs more at this point of time? Will you be able to?
See, I understand that the aspirational voters, they have enthusiasm, they have hope. Their hope should not die. They can fight on the streets. They have more energy. So I think conventional wisdom says that it should weigh over. A person looking for a job.
But even in Bihar, Tejaswi could not make it. He only got close to it.
Again, it came to the equation. Tejaswi emerged as the largest party. He has 75 MLA. Just he fell short of number. That can happen anywhere,
Right.
But see, Akhilesh also, if BJP is down by 100 seats, still Akhilesh may not be able to form the government. Forming the government is a different
Ball game
altogether. That I am not telling. But what I am telling, that who is surging is the Samajwadi Party, and who is going down is the BJP. In numbers, it is very difficult to get the numbers. Forming the government is a different ball game. Nah? So Tejaswi, by all accounts, has won the elections. Nitish Kumar had 40 seats. Still, he is the chief minister. You can't say it was a victory for Nitish Kumar and defeat for Tejaswi Yadav.
Okay. That's a very, very valid point. I think we political journalists make these nuanced statements often. Yeah. So, what we can say at the end of our journey as we go along through the streets of Lucknow is that Samajwadi Party is certainly on the upswing and BJP is on the slide. But what is the quantum of the slide, whether the quantum of the upswing, whether it will take Akhilesh to majority, or whether the BJP will lose majority by losing about 150 seats, that is something which we need to kind of analyze at a later stage. But then, as somebody who has been covering both Bihar and UP and who hails from Bihar, and also as somebody who have covered with you several elections in UP and Bihar, do you think that there is this is talking about nuances again, there is a very fine distinction in the kind of communal and casteist politics that is played out in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh? Is there a kind of distinction?
Yes. See, in Bihar, this communal distinction, communal divide, electorally is not that deep rooted. In 2015, Bihar, you might have heard about this Amit Shah going and telling Pakistan में पड़ाका फूटेंगे, crackers will burst after Nitish wins. In the same elections, this Giraj Singh used to state that Pakistan, telling to the Muslims that Pakistan jao.
Yeah.
It didn't galvanize the Hindus, and they were defeated in 2015.
Yeah.
When the social equations are right in Bihar, these communal things don't work that deeper, because RSS has not worked, because RSS had a government in Adityanath here. Earlier also they had a government.
Yeah.
And they had the structural control on the Uttar Pradesh society more than they have in Bihar. They have yet not got the opportunity to nurse Bihar in the manner they want to nurse. That way, I can tell that Uttar Pradesh, not at the level of society, at the level of villages, they may be living in peace and they may be trying to, but at political level, RSS has succeeded in communalizing it a bit deeper.
Okay.
Where it has not worked in Bihar, because Bihar incidentally doesn't have any BJP chief minister in the past.
Right.
And Nitish Kumar comes from the socialist stock. He can't, even if he wishes, I don't think he wishes, but even if he wishes, he can't operate in the manner the RSS BJP operates. His training is different.
Right. So what about the caste configuration? How different is the caste configuration from in Bihar and UP?
See, in eastern Uttar Pradesh and in the western Bihar, they are almost very similar in nature. If you take the districts of Gopalganj, Deoria, Balia, all these districts, they are
contiguous districts in Bihar and
Gopalganj, Siwan, all these districts.
Contiguous districts in UP and
they are Bhojpuri speaking. They have the similar castes. So they, by and large, react in a different manner. Whereas in western Uttar Pradesh and central Uttar Pradesh, the castes, the Jats, they are the new element in new to Bihar. People don't have a Jat block, and so now the election is traveling beyond this central Bihar and traveling to eastern Uttar Pradesh. There, I think somehow or the other can draw a parallel between Bihar and Uttar Pradesh.
But not in the central and the west.
Not in the central. They have the caste equations, but they are very different. In nature.
Thank you, Nalinji, for this very insightful conversation. I think the viewers must have had some sense of the caste and communal politics in UP and Bihar, the similarities and the divergences. We will come back to Nalinji more often, looking for in-depth analysis like the one that he has provided now. Once again, thanking you.
You are always welcome, and I have all the best wishes for your Aidem.